And now I'm live. Okay, there we go. Unmuted. Unmuted is the best. It really is. Hi there, and welcome to this Jasper's Game Week D&D game. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, we are. I'm Matt Chapman. I'm the editor-in-chief of the official Dungeons and Dragons magazine, Dragon Plus. You can head to dnd.dragonmag.com to find out more about this free magazine. You should definitely be reading. If you're watching this game, you should definitely be reading this magazine because we give away. Look, it's packed with interviews and we give away a lot of cool stuff every issue. We are here today playing in support of a fantastic charity. Jasper's Game Day does amazing things to support suicide prevention in particular, and mental health work more generally. If you're watching live now, we have some brilliant ways for you to donate as we play, and you can have a bit of fun with us along the way. So either check out the chat, I think you'll be able to see stuff there. You can probably see stuff if you go to jaspersgameday.com as well. And it's easy to make a donation. And if you're watching the repeat of this game in 3 weeks' time or 5 years' time, and we entertain you in some way, please do give the price of a cup of coffee. You know, it's worth it. It's such a brilliant charity, and every cent you give really does help somebody who really needs it. So please do that. Now I would like to introduce our incredible group of players. I'm going to introduce them first, and then we'll give them a chance as we go through to say hello. I'm so happy to be leading this bunch of new friends on this wacky quest, because unless I TPK this party, we are now friends. Okay, that's canon. Okay. My 3 celebrity players, introduced in alphabetical order to avoid any diva moments, are Diana Gator, Daniel Kwan, and Dan Telfer. And we're so happy to have them all. And the people we want to thank for their generous donations, which made it able for them to be sat with us and play at this virtual table, are Calvin Gearhart, Mitch King, and Scott Sexton. So please give it up for them all in the chat right now. Tiny bit of housekeeping first. There's a solid 5 minutes of character introductions at the start of this game. Please stick with us. There are some really fun characters in this game. And it's important that we kind of explain a little bit about why they are, how they are. I promise you, once we're through those 5 minutes of introductions, we are going to hit the ground running. So don't nope out before that. First up is Daniel Kwan, who is playing Greg, a mimic. Yes, you heard correctly, a mimic who's also a rogue. Dan, please introduce yourself, but not your character yet, and tell people where they can find you online or see more about what you do.
Okay, so myself, not my character yet?
Yourself, yes.
Okay, but point of clarification, since there is a Dan, maybe we should go with Daniel for me and then Dan for Dan.
Sorry, I thought I was using Daniel, but yes.
It's okay.
I did think suddenly I was just going to be doing my thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, are there multiple mimics in this party? Oh, I mean, is everyone a mimic?
It's all mimic, okay? All mimic all the time.
This is like high level D&D, the only kind of D&D you get with Matt Chapman, the only D&D you get with Matt Chapman. I'm Daniel Kwan. I'm an Enya winning podcaster, game designer, cultural consultant. I run the Asians Represent podcast. I wrote the Book of Inner Alchemy for Candlekeep Mysteries, and publish in the broader TTRPG worlds.
Cool. Right, you are playing the character of Greg, the mimic. And having wandered out from the dungeon Greg was lurking in, they have traveled the land. Greg found good hunting posing as a gravestone, as many travelers would stop to look to see whose death was worthy of marking in the wilderness. That continued until one night when a pseudo-dragon landed on Greg's gravestone. Before he had even consumed the creature, they knew something was wrong. They were suddenly unable to control their own body. For the longest time, they were like a puppet, forced to blend into cities and hunt. But as their body learned to strike, their pseudopods slashing like blades rather than bludgeoning, they started to retain those roguish skills. Eventually, the control was relaxed. If Greg obeyed simple commands, they were allowed to be the assassin. They've lived in this largely autonomous state for the past year, but recently a calling has begun to grow deep inside them. And as they tread a path to answer that hunger, their way becomes clouded by mist. Compelled to enter, Greg wades into this strange new environment. Daniel, as a mimic, Greg can take many forms to wander the land. Please describe Greg's current form to us.
Oh my God. I didn't know I was going to be prompted like this. What is the current form? I feel like since Greg is like wandering the land, I feel like Greg is like looks like a wagon and is being pulled by just like, I feel like the oddest of animals. We'll say it's like, I want to say an owlbear, but I don't want to like throw this into the story. Is that okay?
I was thinking it before you said it anyway. So yes.
I feel like Greg is pretending to be a wagon and is being pulled by the most amazing owlbear. And I feel like we'll get into that introduction as well. But we're building a story together. We're building a group concept. But yeah, Greg looks like a wagon, but the wagon is very unique. On the wheels, they're not just like your standard wooden wheels. These wheels like have this like strange decorative motif on them that looks like 3 daggers surrounding like a curvier black dagger. This is like the most like pimped out wagon ever.
Cool. Thank you. And next up, we're going to introduce Scott Sexton, who is playing Ignace Massot Delacroix, a lizard folk druid. Scott, please introduce yourself, but not your character yet, and tell people where they can find you online or see more of what you do.
Sure. My name's Scott. During the day, I am running a software development for a company that's using computer vision in the construction industry. But when I'm not doing that, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. And you can find me at Griffumbly on Twitter, where I've got a bunch of Dungeon Master tools, a lot of world building stuff. And I've recently released a 1-page tabletop RPG based on Bridgerton, which I did a while ago, but people are still downloading it, so it must be fun.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Ignace is on a mission to create the realm's best ever gumbo, working from an original recipe evolving through generations of his family, passed down to him by his mother. Better still, he's managed to modify a bag of bounty so that alongside whatever else it creates, it will also produce gumbo to his current best recipe. His culinary quest takes him all over the land and introduces him to some very interesting people. And because the world doesn't always look fondly on lizard folk, Ignace enjoys greeting them with an air of sophistication that's designed to help change that view. His most recent meeting was with Grabbatha Grindleclaw, a master potions maker who rides around in the most impressive walking cauldron. And for more on Grabbatha, check out Dragon Plus issue 36. She is a free NPC created by Adam Lee and Max Dunbar, and she is incredible. She's one of my favorite things we've ever done. Anyway, Ignace was meeting Grabbatha to get some hard to find ingredients, as she's known to be able to source the impossible as part of her potion making. It was a pleasant enough exchange, only marred by the constant interruptions made by her odd dancing ladle. This spoon with teeth had small arms and legs and kept trying to interrupt their conversation or fetch other ingredients Ignace hadn't asked for. In the end, he was only too pleased to shake Grabbatha's hand, despite the odd tingle it gave him, and take his leave. He wasn't that familiar with the area, though, and having been compelled to travel in a particular direction that seemed very foggy all of a sudden, he bedded down for the night to see if he'd have more luck finding his way in the morning. Scott, please describe Ignace for us.
Ignace is a lizard folk druid. He is more crocodilian in appearance than is common. He has yellow-green eyes and scales with hints of gold and gray throughout, and has an average height for his species. He's wearing minimal clothing of leather straps and wooden buckles and natural fibers, and is armed with a simple quarterstaff. He has recently been trying to reacquire some ingredients to make a gumbo just like Maman used to make. Having recently been a guest of the Baldur's Gate penitentiary system due to his unorthodox culinary desires, he wandered his way over to Grabbatha to see if he could reconstitute his bag of goodies.
Cool. Thank you. Next up is Diana Gator, who is playing Misha, who is an owlbear barbarian, or as I've been calling it, an owlbarian. Diana, please introduce yourself, but not your character yet, and tell people where they can find you online and see more of what you do.
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Diana. I am Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. If you are looking for anything that I do, which is usually tabletop RPG, publishing, streaming, and general goofery, you can find that on superdylan.com. I published a D&D setting guide based on Neverland from Peter Pan. And I am one half of the Femsplained podcast, which is just a place for fem nerds to talk about nerd stuff in a place where no one will quiz us about it. So that is what we are up to. You could find me in those places, and I'm excited to be here with Jasper's Game Day again.
Cool. Thank you very much. As an owlbear, Misha was a lone hunter, a fearless warrior devouring anything drawn to its den by the flesh of its previous kills. Misha was king of their particular valley, and their cry in the night announced their latest feast. But on a visit to their favorite setting in the valley, where the fairies come to play, you were hit by a new sensation. It was as if your eyes had opened for the first time, and you saw the environment around you in a stark new light. The place you lived was suddenly an assault on your senses. It was a basic cave bathed in the stench of death. Shocked by these new revelations, you fled your home, never to return. As you wandered, you started to notice the way other humanoids live. Their structures, which you had always viewed as bizarre protrusions, suddenly had an intelligent purpose. And as you began to walk among these humanoids, even though they seemed to fear you, you started to understand them. The way they walk on their hind legs and the materials they use to carry weapons and other items fascinate you. And while you still often fight with your claws and your fangs, you've learned that the large weapon you found that seems as if it was made specifically to fit your talons does a fearful amount of damage to any being it strikes. But you are also aware that whatever brought this new outlook with it also brought a fury. Your newfound intelligence often ebbs away when the red mist descends, and your battles have sometimes taken place amid strange arcane blazes of power. Recently, you have found yourself pulled in a direction you are powerless to resist, and have passed through the mists to encounter a strange new world. Diana, can you please describe Misha for us?
Absolutely. Misha is the most muscular owl bear you've ever seen. He's got like muscles even in his wings. There are muscles. It's just muscles for days. He's wearing a very like heavy set like rock armor over his more fleshy parts. The muscles have muscles. And right now he's pulling a cart. He saw that some humans had a cart, and he figured that it would be very normal to have a cart. So here he is with this cart.
Cool. Yeah, I like to think he's always wanted a cart. There's a cart there. He's like, sweet, man, yep. Sweet cart. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, next up is Calvin Gearhart, who is playing Bragdo Dawnseeker, a Durgar bard, who has a much shorter introduction to everybody else because his introduction crashed and we had to remake it 5 minutes ago. So Calvin, please introduce yourself, but not your character yet, and tell people where they can find you online or see more of what you do.
I'm Calvin Gearhart, or Calvy Calv, pretty much everywhere. Or Calvy Calv's Gaming on Twitter or YouTube. I run a Scion game on my Twitch. I also play video games on my Twitch. I have a YouTube channel where I post my video game and actually my games that I'm running. And that's pretty much it. That's all. I'm also an engineering student currently.
Cool. Thank you. Bragdo Dawnseeker is a laid-back Durgar bard. Recently, following a drunken night out that he doesn't quite remember, Bragdo awake and was suddenly able to understand everyone, and with everyone able to understand him as well. It was the most disconcerting but useful thing to happen. This has made him a slightly messianic figure who has been able to bring people together, even uniting some of his kind with the surface dwellers and ending a 2-century feud that has lasted with his village and those who live above that whole time. However, recently, he's become bored of the never-ending cult figures who have started to follow him around and has decided he wants to head off and chill, get some him time and do that. As he started to try and make his escape from this new life, and as people started to try and follow him, he spotted mists in the distance and was drawn towards them. And disappearing through the mists, he left his followers behind and has entered a strange new land. Kelvin, can you please describe Bragdo for us?
Yeah, Bragdo is, he already said, it's a very, very laid back person. Just shy of 5 feet, dark blue eyes, the nice white hair, but it's braided. It looks very nice. He's a very handsome dwarf. And just super chill and just wants to be left alone to play his bagpipes.
Yeah.
Maybe some barbecue. I don't know. You gotta leave me alone, guys. I'm just trying to chill here, and you're all harshing my mellow, bro.
Excellent. Next up is Mitch, who is playing Githanks, a Goliath cleric. Mitch, please introduce yourself, but not your character yet, and tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, I am Mitch. I've been playing tabletop games for the past couple of years now, so I'm probably the newest person into this world, but really enjoy it. You can find me on Twitter at Captain_M_King if you are interested in following me there. And I'm very excited to be here and play this game with all these people.
Cool, thank you. During Githank's recent travels for the church, he stopped at a tiny settlement and listened to the villagers' tales of a shambling creature that kills their livestock. With a promise that the village would build a shrine to your god if you could vanquish this foe, the charming leader sent you on your way. But at the town's edge, a child came running up to you with a warning. She was one of the few who had seen the creature during daylight, and she recognized a former warrior from the village who had been killed in battle. You consoled her with the knowledge that bringing peace to those racked with unlife was something you were meant to do. The battle proved to be one of the toughest you've ever fought, though. No minor undead, this was a greater zombie, and when your long sword finally cleaved through its shoulder and all the way down into its chest, you were a whisker away from being bested. You watched the blue lights go out in its eyes and began to rummage around in your pack to see if any healing potions remained. You glanced down from this task a moment too late to see a dim light return to the creature's eyes. It lifted its good arm, its short sword finding a gap between your armor. As you dropped to the ground, it crawled on top of you, teeth snarling as the world faded from your eyes. You awoke to find the corpse of this warrior still on top of you. Pushing it off, you gingerly removed the sword buried in your side. Your return to the village was then greeted with joy. The realist in you doubts they'll ever build that shrine, but you hope the best of humanity allows them to do it. And as the villagers waved you off in thanks and you continued your journey, you unconsciously deviated from the well-trodden dirt path that leads from the village. And by the time you look up and take in your surroundings, you're wandering through a much changed sepia landscape. Next up is Dan Telfer playing Hazmat Whistlebloom, a goblin wizard. Dan, please introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you online.
I would love to. Hi, you guys. I'm Dan. I think I'm mostly known as a stand-up comedian, so you can find me on Twitter mostly because I can't do that in person still. But I'm also the narrative lead for Fandom Tabletop, and I'm currently adapting The Dragon Prince on Netflix into a tabletop role-playing game using the Cortex system. I've written a few pieces for D&D Beyond, which is also run by Fandom Tabletops. You can read some very silly pieces that I've got over on dndbeyond.com, and I've also been a cast member for a few years of Nerd Poker, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast with a bunch of very funny people that's Yeah, it's been going since like 2011 or something. So we're all old.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Hazmat, your search for magical knowledge has taken you far and wide. A recent mission to track down a legendary tome led you to a contact who claimed to have a page torn from that very book. It's a meeting that's now etched in your mind for all the wrong reasons. You remember entering the room in their tower. You remember sitting as they composed a message and started to cast sending while you waited. You don't remember them finishing that message. The next thing you remember, they were falling backwards out of a window of the tower with your dagger in their chest. And while you would have stayed to investigate, the frantic shouts from their security detail caused you to run for your life. Worse still, something about that encounter has marked you. Humanoids and other creatures now frequently attack you, seemingly without cause. Animals that should give you a wide berth might stalk you as if you were prey. When you started to be pulled towards the mist and found yourself in a seemingly empty, desolate land, it was almost a relief. Dan, please describe Hazmat for us.
Hazmat is a very small goblin. Does not like talking to people. Mostly likes to blow up monsters. Is kind of like a fixer. We'll get like send into another dimension to blow a monster up because it's guarding treasure, and then we'll just sort of leave without talking to anybody. Sort of wrapped up in a cloak. Kind of looks like a thimble with a horrible little face sticking out of it, and is ready to party.
Okay, excellent. Okay, we are all introduced. This is good. You all currently stand alone in the Scipio world, except for the two characters who are a cart and a creature pulling a cart. They are currently together. The mists have faded behind you as if they were never there. And as you survey your new environment, the pull deep inside you intensifies, and you know that you need to head in that direction. Maze-like passages of dirty, jagged rocks stretch ahead of you with vicious barbed scrub brushes, the only vegetation in sight. Can I get everybody to please roll me a d6? And I can see this, I think, on...
I got a 2.
Okay.
1, killing it.
How do I roll a custom D6 on here?
So I think you can see the dice at the bottom left.
Yeah, just do that guy. All right, here I go.
Just click on one of those and then click on roll.
You'd be disappointed if you don't roll a 6. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right, so we have. That is how much damage you've taken as you've been trying to push forward in this landscape of harsh rocks and thorny bushes. Hazmat, we're going to go to you first. You awaken in what could be the morning. The passage of time here is unclear, as this environment is so gloomy and overcast. You are only too aware that since the incident in the tower, every day when you awaken, the first creature that you see is guaranteed to attack you. In your attempts to avoid a dangerous battle when you wake up, because you don't want to wake up and see something that's going to kick your ass, right? You have found that if you use a ritual to summon an unseen servant, you can get around this problem. For all intents and purposes, an unseen servant is a mindless being, but it still knows that you're there. It still feels your presence. It still wants to attack you, but an unseen servant has no ability to attack. So it's a safe way of dealing with this first thing in the morning. As you do every time you awake, you tentatively gather what you need to cast this ritual. You begin to construct a circle, your eyes passing over the objects that you have in front of you. But as they do, you look up for a second into one of these scraggly, thorny, horrible bushes that is in this landscape. And deep within it, you see a pair of green eyes flash. And as it looks at you, a big, thorny, twisted smile grows within this plant, and this ogre-sized thorn bush stands up, raises its two hands in the air with vines flailing at the end of them, and roars. Can I get everybody to roll me initiative, please?
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I set it on fire.
And if you want to, I can see it, but if you want to shout out what your initiative is, that would be really cool.
19.
Yeah, that's an 8.
23.
17.
As the wheels of the cart start screaming back.
11. Thank you for alerting me to that cart.
Ah!
What's that cart? Timmy's in the well?
Timmy's in the well. You know what? Do me a favor. Shout them out again, just so I can. So, Mitch, what did you get?
8.
8 for Mitch. Okay. Scott, what did you get?
4.
4. Scott. I love a good low initiative because I like to go last. I like to see what's happened already. You know. I think that's everybody. No, Daniel Kwan, what was yours?
19.
19. Okay. So, Dan Telfer, what was yours?
17.
17. Yeah, I've got those two mixed up, is what it is. So you're going to be.
It's almost as if some of us have similar names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
At least I didn't name my character like initiative roll or something. That would have made this even weirder.
Okay, there we go. Right. So, Daniel, you as the cart, you hear off in the distance the roar of a creature, the roar of something that sounds like it's about to attack. And you know what direction that is in. I'm going to say that as a mimic, you probably have a lot of siblings.
Oh yeah, I've got plenty. We all left the dungeon to go try to make careers for ourselves.
Yeah. You know,
the careers in eating different things.
Yeah, mimics with ambition. I like that. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel right now like one of your siblings, one of your most beloved siblings, is over in that direction and is very much in danger. It is clearly about to be attacked by something, or something life-threatening is happening. Probably connected to the giant roar that you just heard.
That roar, it's. I think that's somebody I know.
Can I
Misha,
hear that?
Misha, you got to pull me in that direction. Wait, I can just get up. And then I think what Greg is going to do is, I think the wheels on because Misha is a real strong owlbear, and we're being pulled in this direction. And if I feel like if I disengage and form 4 wheels, I'll just start rolling. Can I use my momentum to continue moving and call that my move action?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, they see me rolling. I'm gonna start rolling in the direction. Can I actually roll a perception check to see if I can spot something?
You can. Please do roll me a perception check.
Yes. No, it's a 7.
7. You do not see what it is yet. You do not yet see any other characters apart from Misha, who you've been traveling with. But you have headed off in the direction of the sounds. You've headed off in the direction where you feel one of your siblings is in danger. You can't see anything. You could double move if you want to. I'm
gonna double move, and as I make my second move, I'm gonna be like, Misha, I can't explain this, but I think one of my siblings is in danger in this desolate wasteland where it's just the 2 of us.
Misha is like immediately stunned by the fact that this card is talking, But also, yesterday I was living in my own filth. You have to open your eyes to a new perspective. And then I'm just like, okay, cool, bud. We'll talk about it later. And then we'll start like
Oh
running.
yeah, I totally forgot to tell you, I'm alive.
Yeah. No big deal. We'll cross that bridge later. And like, I'm just gonna take out my axe, like hustle behind you.
And I think because Greg speaks like Goblin and Thieves Can't, I think Greg's just been talking to Misha in Thieves Can't / Goblin is weird hybrid the entire time, and it just sounds like the tuk 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 of wheels on like cobblestones.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just having this like one-way conversation for the past day.
Okay. So you will. So Daniel, Greg will head off first because he's got first initiative. So he will do that. I'm going to move back. I should have done Carrot's name as well. I'm going to move back to you, Hazmat. So this thing comes at you. It is big. And the vines that are on the end of its arms, it actually, even as it gets about 10 feet away from you, it snaps these vines out and
Rude.
tries to attack you, and it gets 2 attacks. So, one of them.
This choice.
I see that the GM is rolling physical dice, and we're all rolling in D&D Beyond.
Oh, I know, man.
Oh no, a 20.
No, this is true, but there is no currently. I know they're working on it, but currently there is no way for the GM to roll in the table without having a character in there or something. I don't know how it works, but so hence physical dice. But yes, I'm sorry about that. They are. I know they're working on it. It'll happen. D&D Beyond is amazing. I love it. So yes, one of them misses really terribly in that it's that's our first natural one of the game. There you go. So that's pretty terrible. One of them is going to be 19. Does 19 hit you?
I've decided that it does.
Okay, good. I think
Dang it.
I think that's fine. You are going to take 11 piercing damage, and you are going to be grappled. This thing wraps its vines around you and grapples you. And that's going to be its go.
Wait, this thing did 11 damage in one hit.
Did
I
say that I liked this brother, sister, sibling?
I've taken 17 points of damage before being able to do anything. I'm in rough shape, you guys. I'm a wizard. I'm in rough shape.
You love the sibling. This is a very valued sibling that you have.
You'll have loved this sibling once it's my turn.
Yeah. Hazmat, it is your go.
It sure is. All right. So first things first, I am going to cast Thunderstep. What does it look like in the immediate vicinity of me?
You look around, and for all the rocks and the these horrid bushes, some of which are clearly alive.
They are horrid.
You can see a space that has none of that in that you could jump to. And
about how far away is it?
How far does Thunderstep take you?
Well, it says like within view, right? Like it's pretty 90 feet. It looks like. So if I can get full distance away at the moment, that would be great.
You feel like about 80 feet away. There's a fairly unobstructed bit you could just land on, and that would be like the most optimum use of not being near this thing, but also possibly not being near another one if there's another one out there.
Great. Well, I'm going to cast Thunderstep, which means I'm going to teleport there. But also, my new arch nemesis is going to have to do a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So, which it is. Okay, so it's just going to do that. So, it gets 12. Does 12 save?
I'm afraid the save needed is 12. So
Oh,
you're gonna take half of 3d10 thunder damage,
Okay.
which is going to be 19, as you can see in the game log. So you want to halvesies that,
I will
Mr.
have
GM?
that. Yeah, I've done that. There you go. Thanks.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to hide.
Okay. You hide. Can you bonus? Are you?
Yes, I sure can.
You can. You are, because you are a yes. You are
Nimble escape. I'm a goblin. I'm very
Exactly.
small.
Yes.
Here
Excellent
I go.
use of nimble escape there. Make me a roll to hide. Maybe a stealth roll.
Here it comes. That'll be a 2 + 3.
Okay. It sees you.
Again, rude. I don't care for the manners of this thing at all. Or if I should say that in my character's voice, that's what a hazmat sounds like.
Okay. It sees you, but you are 80 feet away. So it sees you as you duck behind this rock, and then you make the rather odd move of looking back out from the rock to see if it was still there, and it's like clearly looking directly at you.
Yeah, I mean, I may as well, right? If it sees me as
yeah. Okay, so it's you. That's going to be that. Diana, it is going to be Misha is going to be next. You have seen your wagon head off in a direction over that way.
Absolutely. When I get to the scene of what's happening, by that time, I guess, what am I seeing? What does the other mimic look like right now?
I don't think you could see it yet.
I can't see it yet.
No. Yeah.
I think you just see me like the wagon detaches from you, just starts rolling on its own in a different direction.
Okay. Well, I'm going to run all the way up there. I'm going to try to, if I'm not able to get close enough to see